Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle, and this is Danielle's Books. Thanks so much for stopping by, and this is going to be a 23 books I want to read in 2023. So this video is not going to include any new releases coming out in the year 2023. I'm going to do a totally separate video about like my anticipated books. So these are going to be 23 backlist books according, as of next year. So I'm really excited to talk about these. We have kind of a hodgepodge of books here. We've got some thrillers, some horror, some kind of like oddball books, which I'll definitely talk about when I get to them. We've got a mix of novellas and novels, so good stuff. And before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe because I would love to have you. And let's get into this because we've got 23 books to talk about. Also, I'll have linked down below everything, all the social media. I'll try and link some of these books down there. That might take me a minute, but I'll do what I can. So let's get started with one of the top books on my TBR for next year. And that is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I talked about this book in the like popular thrillers I haven't read yet video. I think that's what I called it. I'll link it wherever. I still haven't read this and I really need to. Zach and I are planning to do because Zach hasn't read it either. And so I think we're planning to do like a reading vlog where we both read it. We talk about our thoughts like separately and then we'll like come together and, see how each thought about it. So that's the plan with this book. Let's see if I can find like a little bit of a blurb here. It says, powerful, poignant, and utterly gripping, packed with indelible characters and unforgettable plot twists. A masterful thriller to be read with white knuckles and a fast-beating heart. So this is a book that you see a lot on like top disturbing books lists, books with big plot twists, and I'm into both of those things. So yeah, this is going to be first on the list, and this one is pretty much a guarantee that we're going to get to it because we literally already have a video planned for it. So excited about that. All right, now let's move to this thriller. We have The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. Zach has read this book. I have not read this book. And this is one of his favorite thrillers. I think he read it this is another one that people say has like a really big plot twist. So I'm excited to see what that plot twist is. Let's get a blurb in here. It says, a dark and devious literary suspense novel about a random encounter, sex, and a conversation that quickly turns to murder. A modern reimagining of Patricia Highsmith's classic Strangers on a Train. I'm excited. I've just heard such good things about it. Honestly, I kind of want to read this book I kind of want to read this in December, but I'm going to save it for next year. And I'm hoping I can stay on top of this list and be able to get through all of these. I want to be able to set that goal and be able to accomplish it. So yeah, we're going to save this for next year. And then, yeah, I don't think I've read anything by Peter Swanson, so this one will be my first, and I can't wait. Now let's move to another thriller that is popular that I still have not read, and that is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I have read from Alex Michaelides before. I read The Maidens, and I really liked that one. That was a thriller from last year, I believe. So this one I also mentioned in that video of popular thrillers that I haven't read yet. And this is another one that has like a big plot twist. And this is also another one that Zach has read that I still need to. Let's see here. It says, a spellbinding psychological thriller about violence, obsession, and the dark side of passion. It looks like we're following Alicia. I have a sister named Alicia. And she is a famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer. And then one evening, her husband returns home late from work, and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face. I think that's like what, I don't know. I think the twist stems somewhere from there. So I kind of don't want to know a whole lot going into this. I also don't know the twist or anything, even though this is a well-loved thriller on booktube. So I'm excited to see how this will work for me. And yeah, that's The Silent Patient. Now let's, I guess, keep rolling with some thrillers. We have Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips. This is one that I don't think is as popular. This is one that I didn't I don't even think I got this, like, actually from Book of the Month, like, as a subscription. I think I found this at, like, a Half Price Books, and I was like, that looks interesting, because I really like the cover. But this was a Book of the Month pick in August of 2017. So let's see what this one's about. An electrifying novel about the primal and unyielding bond between a mother and her son, and the lengths she'll go to protect him. I love that. A masterful thrill ride and exploration of motherhood itself, from its tender moments of grace to its savage power. Fierce Kingdom asks where the boundary is between our animal instinct to survive and our human duty to protect one another. For whom should a mother risk her life? I actually know some people in real life that have read this book, and they really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to see if I will like it too. So there you have, this one's also a little bit shorter. So there you have Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips. And then let's go with a couple of these paperbacks here. So next up I want to read 6 stories, and this one is by Matt Wesolowski. It says, One Body, 6 Stories, Which One is True? This one I think has mixed media in it. Yeah, I think there's like some podcast elements potentially. This one I don't know a whole lot about. This is another one that Zach has read. He started his channel long before me. This is one that he read and I still want to read. I think you get, a series of 6 interviews, and you're following Scott King, who's like this investigative journalist. So you're getting the 6 interviews with, obviously the 6 people. And he is going to attempt to work out how the dynamics of a group of idle teenagers conspired with the sinister legends surrounding the Fell to result in Jeffrey's mysterious death. Cool. I'm excited about it. This one's also a little bit shorter. So this is another one I want to read. And then we have The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. I have read from Paul Tremblay. I read The Pallbearers Club, which came out this year, and I liked that book. This is another really, really, really popular one that I just haven't gotten to yet. This is another one that Zach has read, and I think that he didn't like this one. But, I don't always agree with him, so I'm going to give it my own try. And this one I actually know nothing about. I think this is one that people say is like, what was that? Like Home Invasion, I think. And that stuff terrifies me. So I'm excited to get into this. I think it has an adaptation that's coming out soon. I don't know the total date on that, but yeah, I'm excited about this one. I'm excited to read from Paul Tremblay again. So there's that one. And then another really popular one that I have not read is The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is one of Zach's all-time favorite books. This is like one of the first horror books he read that really got him into the genre. And this is, again, obviously one that I still need to read. And this is another one I don't want to know a whole ton about. I know that there's some disturbing things in this book. The blurb up here says, The Troop scared the hell out of me and I couldn't put it down. This is old school horror at its best by Stephen King. So I'm excited about this. You're following a scoutmaster named Tim Riggs, who leads a troop of boys into the Canadian wilderness for a weekend camping trip. That's all I'm going to know, and I know that it all snowballs from there. Like I said, I know that there's some disturbing stuff in this book, and I'm excited to read it and see for myself how it goes. So there's The Troop. Now let's move into some like novella territory. So the first one I have is Sour Candy. This is one of Zach's favorite novellas and one that I've been really wanting to read. I've read just a really, really tiny novella from Keelan Patrick Burke. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to put it on the screen if I can remember it. This one says, at first glance, Phil Pendleton and his son Adam are just an ordinary father and son, no different from any other. They take walks in the park, visit county fairs, museums, and zoos, and eat together, overlooking the lake. Some might say the father is a little too accommodating, given the lack of discipline when the child loses his temper in public. Some might say he spoils the son by allowing him to set his own boundaries, or his own bedtimes, and eat candy whenever he wants. What no one knows is that Phil is a prisoner, and that up until a few weeks ago, a chance encounter at a grocery store, he had never seen the child before in his life. I mean, how does that not sound intriguing? And this is like really, really short. Like, it's not even 100 pages. This one is 74 pages long. I could probably read this before next year too, but I'm going to save it. So that's the first novella. And then the next one is Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. This is one that's on everyone's like most disturbing list. It's one that I definitely want to get to. So that is the plan, and I'm excited about it. This one is about like a girl who is really obsessed with a man who's like convicted of butchering a bunch of people, and she's like obsessed. And so she agrees to like meet him in the, she'll do anything to get close to him. So when he gives her a task, she accepts. So he sends her into the woods to retrieve a key from the riverman. And then, you know, like it follows her sister too. So, and a lot of horrific stuff happens. So I'm excited to read this. I actually wanted to read this a few months ago, but I ended up like choosing a different book or something. So yeah, we'll get to this one next year for sure. And then we have You've Lost a Lot of Blood by Eric LaRocca. This would be my third Eric LaRocca book, I'm pretty sure. And they write the best books. So I have loved everything I've written from them. This one says, each precious thing I show you in this book is a holy relic from the night we both perished. The night when I combed you from my hair and watered the moon with your blood. You've lost a lot of blood. So this one's a little bit thicker, but I'm still really excited about it. I've kind of heard mixed reviews for this one, but I'm obsessed with the cover, and I just really want to read that one. So, next up is Survivor. This is another very, very popular, like, extreme horror book, especially on booktube. I've seen it more there. I don't want to know anything about this book. I just know that it's, like, one of the most disturbing books that everyone talks about and people read. So, yeah, I'm excited to give it a try myself and finally get to it. It's a little bit longer. It's not really novella length. Like, it's almost 300 pages, and the font is, like, kind of small. So, we'll see. This one will definitely have to be a physical read, and, yeah, excited about it. Now, let's move on to My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I have read from Grady Hendrix. I read Horror Store, and I really enjoyed that one. This one is the one that I keep wanting to read next, but I just haven't gotten to it. I think this is like a coming-of-age horror. It's very, like, 80s horror, and I'm excited about it. This cover is just amazing, kind of like a VHS tape. And, yeah, this is another one of Zach's, like, all-time favorite books, so I'm excited to give it a try myself. I know this is also very beloved on BookTube, so, yeah. We're going to give that one a try. Next up, we have some Stephen King. I put 2 books on this 23 book list, and if, you know, I get to more, I'll get to more. The Long Walk is one that I'm super interested in. This one is technically by Richard Bachman, and this is one where there's, like, I don't know, like 100 people or something like that, kids, and they have to, you know, walk the long walk. And basically, like, if you stop at all, like, you're kind of done. There has to be someone who wins at the end. And so I'm excited about this one. And then also The Shining. I feel like I have to read The Shining. This is one of the movies I've seen. This is Zach's all-time favorite book. And so I need to give it a read myself. I need to give it a try. Like I said, I've enjoyed the movie. I saw the movie. I know that they're totally different. But I just feel like I kind of like seeing a movie just so I can put, like, faces to the names I'm reading about. I don't know. So those are the 2 Stephen King books that I want to read next year. And then let me just reach and grab a couple more. I have some more thrillers that I want to get to. First up, we have These Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. This is one that I feel like would be perfect for winter, and I'm excited about it. This one's a little bit shorter. Let me see if I can get a blurb. Okay. Vividly atmospheric and masterfully tense, this a poignant story of survival, sacrifice, and how far a father will go when faced with losing it all. So, yeah, I think this is about, like, a father and his daughter, and they're literally, like, just, like, trying to survive. I've heard that there's some, like, touching moments in this book. I've also heard this isn't the most, like, thrilling book. It's more of, like, a literary suspense type of novel. So this is another one on my list, and you can see, like, the little snowy area down there. I'm excited about it. Next up, we have 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is one I want to read because I've read 2 books from Catherine Ryan Howard, and I really enjoyed both of them. So I want to keep reading from her, and this one is the book she came out with after, during the pandemic. So I think it's a pandemic story. Let's see. I think you're counting down from 56 days or counting up. I'm not sure. 56 days ago, Kiara and Oliver meet in a supermarket queue in Dublin and start dating the same week COVID reaches Irish shores. 35 days ago, when lockdown threatens to keep them apart, Oliver suggests they move in together. Kiara Sierra sees a unique opportunity for a relationship to flourish without the scrutiny of family and friends. Oliver sees a chance to hide who and what he really is. Today, detectives arrive at Oliver's apartment to discover a decomposing body inside. Can they determine what really happened, or has lockdown created an opportunity for someone to commit the perfect crime? So, that sounds really good to me. I know that this one has gotten mixed reviews, and like I always say, I'm excited to see kind of where I'll fall on the spectrum. So, there's that one. And then we have another Riley Sager, and this one is Final Girls. I have not read this one. This is his first one. And then this one is like his take on slashers, I'm pretty sure. So that's kind of all I need to know. I've read a decent amount of slashers this year, and I realized I really enjoy slashers. Sorry. So I'm excited to give this one a try. I've read only a few Riley Sager books, and I know that this one is one I need to read. And The Last Time I Lied I need to read, and the one from this year, The House Across the Lake, I still need to read. But yeah, I want to read this one because, like I said, I kind of got into slasher books this year. And, you know, the final girl trope is one that I'm still fairly new at. So we'll see how I like that. Next up, we have, this is an oddball pick, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I do not read sci-fi, and I also don't really enjoy books this large. So, this is definitely a book that's out of my comfort zone, but I know that a lot of people say that about this book, and then it becomes like everyone's all-time favorite book they've ever read, which kind of happened to Zach, and I know that I keep mentioning him. I'll have his channel linked down below. Zach from Zach's Books is my husband, if that hasn't been made aware anytime before this. So I'm excited to see if this book will change my life like it has everyone else. And how long is this? Like, okay, it's less than 500, but not by much. So I am planning to give this a try next year. I am planning to possibly vlog it next year. So we shall see if I can actually get through it, and enjoy it as much as everyone else has enjoyed it. So there you have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Look at these stacks up here. I'm scared they're going to fall on me while I'm filming this. All right, next up we have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is another oddball pick from me. This one is, I think it's like literary suspense as well. This one says, alternating between Vanessa's present and her past, My Dark Vanessa juxtaposes memory and trauma with the breathless excitement of a teenage girl discovering the power her own body can wield. Thought-provoking and impossible to put down, this is a masterful portrayal of troubled adolescence and its repercussions that raises vital questions about agency, consent, complicity, and victimhood. So this is an era-defining novel that brilliantly captures and reflects the shifting cultural... It's so long. Okay. This one, a lot of people say, is a very dark read. It's a very hard read, and I know that this one is about, like, a complex relationship with a student and a teacher. That's kind of all I need to know. I know that it's going to be dark going into it, so I am definitely prepared for that. I love this cover. Purple is my favorite color. And so I feel like this is one, like, it's about time that I read it, get through it, and see what my thoughts are on it. So this is going to be another book on the list, and we'll see how it goes. So next up, we'll do another thriller. We have Hostage by Claire McIntosh. I've never read from this author before, I don't think. It says you can save hundreds of lives or the one that matters most. So this is another thriller. I think this is like a locked room thriller on an airplane, and locked room is my favorite trope, and I've never read one based on an airplane. So I'm excited about that. Let's see if I can get a blurb. With hundreds of lives in your hands, could you sacrifice the one you love most? Despite the buzz in the air, the inaugural nonstop flight between London and Sydney is just another day for flight attendant Mina, a way to put some distance between herself and the secrets that are devastating her marriage and burdening her already troubled five-year-old daughter until she gets the note. The following instructions will save your daughter's life. So Mina is suddenly aware of the hundreds of strangers surrounding her. Any one of them could be behind the threat. No matter what choice she makes next, someone on the plane wants to ensure it never reaches its destination. That sounds really good to me, so I'm excited to get to this one, and I love the cover, like I said. So, good stuff. Another thriller. Now we have 3 more books. Let's go with the novella first. This one is called When We Entered the House by Claire L. Smith. I've never heard anyone talk about this book, but we got it when we went to that horror bookstore called Bucket of Blood. It's in Chicago. And this one says, best friends Zoe and Elle share a secret. Every day after school, they sneak into the ominous woods surrounding their small town. The isolation of the remote wilderness shelters them from their overwhelming home lives, but it also brings dangers of its own. In order to escape, the girls' friendship and inner strength will be tested. The house's clutches are strong, and both friends will be caught in a struggle they may not be able to win. So it looks like they come across a Victorian mansion, and, you know, the mansion houses a lot of secrets and all of that. So I'm excited about this. This one's like really, really short too. It's right around 100 pages. So that's definitely in the plans. And then the last 2, we've got Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I've read from Josh Malerman. I just read Daphne this month. Well, in November, depending on when this video goes up. And I really, really enjoyed that book. I gave it 4.5 stars. Let's see here. This one, I don't know a whole lot about. This one is the one, though, where, like, you have to be blindfolded, because if you make eye contact with, like, the enemy, I think you die. That's kind of how I've taken it. I'm not totally sure. This is another one that I kind of don't want to know a whole lot going into it, because this is such a popular book, and I feel like the less I know is for the better. So, sorry again. This one is Bird Box by Josh Malerman, and that one is a very, very popular horror book. Last up, one last wild card. This one is a manga, and this is Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. I'm going to read the blurb on the back. It says, a pair of twisted siblings, Yuma, a young man obsessed with the devil, and Chizumi, the worst little sister in recorded history, cause all sorts of tragic and terrifying things to happen wherever they go. These scary stories will shock you with a literal interpretation of the ills that plague modern society. So, I have not read from Junji yet, but I felt like this would be a good place to start. It's a little bit shorter, and I've heard really good things about this one, so why not? And look at that cover. It's incredible. So, that is the 23 books that I want to read in 2023. So hopefully every few months I can check in on this list, make sure I'm reading off of it. And I really hope that I like all of these books. So let me know some books that you want to get to next year. If you feel really ambitious, you can write down a whole list of 23. But you don't have to do that. And yeah, don't forget to check out the description box down below. It'll have anything you need listed down there. And also don't forget to subscribe, because I would really, really love to have you join this community. And I think that's it for me today. So I hope you have a great day whenever you're watching this. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!